Some of you wonder, why? I don't know why I keep screwing up so much and do this. Because these things have not been really settled in your heart. You're aware of them. You have a mindset that's aware. Hey, he said do this, and I'm not doing it, and I don't want to do it. And so it's not really in your heart to understand, which means that you don't have the emotion, desire, drive as to the why. If my heart is, I want to obey, that's going to be a lot different way of handling when the thing comes up that I really don't want to do, but he said to do it. Or, flip side, the stuff that I want to do that he said no. Because if my heart, well, let me stop there. My heart's going to win. If I want it more than I want to obey, I'm going to do it. If I don't want it more than I want to obey, I'm not going to do it. Now, if I put obedience to him, my heart, strong enough, then my desire doesn't necessarily win out. As far as my desire to do what I wanted to do, my desire for him wins out. To obey his voice according to all that I command you today. What was Moses commanding him to do today? The day when he's doing all this, he's commanding them to keep the Torah. Actually, he's not. He's commanding them to keep the covenant, which includes keeping the Torah. That's obeying the voice. Obeying the voice everywhere, at least we should all agree, in the Tanakh, is Torah observance. Now, you may want to say that something changed in the new. I disagree, but you might want to say that. But look at the context here. When you are scattered and this all comes back to your heart and you're going to turn back to the Creator, you're going to do that by obeying his voice according to the commandments Moses gave. That's the Torah observance. You can't get away from that. Well, you know, he made a mistake and Yeshua had to straighten it all out. Really? You're going to now say the Father made a mistake, that Yahweh made a mistake, that all the stuff in the Old Testament is a mistake, and that the Son had to come and straighten it all out. I think he would be greatly offended that you would use his name that way. He said, I only do what my Father says. He wants to rejoice over you. But why would he rejoice over you? He says at the beginning of the next verse, he wants to rejoice over you if you obey his voice. You want to make him smile? You want to make him happy? I don't think singing and dancing is the answer. I think he likes it. I don't think praising is the answer. I think he likes it. I don't think prayer is the answer. I think he likes it. You know what he says he really likes? Obedience. He loves the praises of his people. He loves that you come to him in certain ways. But what makes him rejoice? He said, Yahweh turns back to rejoice over you if you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to guard his commands and his laws, which are written in this book of the Torah. In case you still haven't figured it out, no matter what your pastor told you, you know what, bring your pastors to Deuteronomy 30 and say, what do I do with this? How does this apply today? Oh, that was for them. We're separate. I'm sorry, Messiah didn't come for separate. Oh, but everybody said, you know you can't keep the law. Your flesh can't keep the law. Not because the law is hard to keep, it's because it rubs up against your flesh. You get your flesh out of the way, it's simple. It's not hard to eat different. It's not hard to observe different days. It's not hard not to kill somebody, well, sometimes. It's not hard to steal. It's not hard to not to commit adultery. It's not hard not to steal. It's not hard not to covet somebody's stuff. It's not hard not to make idols. None of these things are hard to do, except that your flesh can get in the way. This is Yahweh speaking. Either you're going to believe him or not. He says, this command that I'm asking you to do, he says, it's not too hard for you. So straightforward. He knew he would claim it's too hard. So he thought he might preemptively say, by the way, it's not too hard. Now what about all the Gentiles? In his going to gather the scattered, they're scattered amongst the Gentiles, the message goes to everybody. This is how he told Abraham, you will be the father of many Gentiles. That's what it actually says, many nations, the Hebrews goyim, Gentiles. Because the Gentile simply is everybody not us. Everybody not the nation of Israel is a Gentile. It's not a negative term, okay? There's Israel and there's everybody else. And the everybody else is supposed to eventually become Israel. But until they do, they're referred to as a Gentile, the nations. It should not be a negative or insulting term. What's really insulting to me, well, I guess not insulting me, I think it's just foolish or stupid or whatever. Stop telling people that you are a Gentile believer, because that's not a thing. That's just not a thing. There's no such thing. If you're a believer and you're covenanted, you're Israel. If you're not a believer who's covenanted, you're a Gentile and you're still a Gentile. So don't tell me you're a Gentile believer. As long as there is whatever is using as a witness. So here he's saying, I've called you as witness the heavens and the earth. By heavens, he means the sky, like everything you can see out there, what's in the heavens. So as long as that exists and the earth exists, they're witnesses that all of this is still valid. So when you go outside and see that you're still on the earth, and you look up in the sky and there's still a sky, guess what? It's still valid. Sometimes he says, I call the sun, the moon, and the stars as witnesses. You look outside, you see the sun, the stars, or the moon. Depending on what time of day. You see one of them or several of them, whatever, right? Sometimes you can see the moon and the sun during the day. But the thing is, you see them, and as long as they're there, that's a witness that this is still valid. Not that it would ever not be valid. He's just simply trying to give you a metaphor to say, look, this will always be valid. Just like you're alive on the earth, it's valid. What does stiff-necked mean? We're talking about cultures that bowed. They bowed to kings, they bowed to authority, they bowed to their Elohim. And they would bow their head. Sometimes their whole body, sometimes they would lay prostrate, but they would bow their head. If your neck's stiff, guess what? It's not bending. It's just not gonna bow. So they harden their necks. I'm not giving up my sovereignty is what that says. I'm not giving up sovereignty. The prophet got there with both hands, both feet pushing on the back of that head, and it's not going anywhere. You know, in the Old Testament, not the Old Testament, in the Chumash, in the first 5 books, and I think it was in Deuteronomy, he says, you've been stiff-necked since I knew you. You've been rebellious since I knew you. This is a stiff-necked people. He called them that way before this. No difference now. You know, I have a teaching. What teaching am I thinking of? Very good. Monique said, do you trust him enough to obey him? I say, some of you don't. Can we all agree then that this is probably the thing you most need to repent about is that you're not trusting him enough to obey him? Because if you trusted him enough, you'd obey him. Yahweh says you can't work on Shabbat. You have a job that works on Shabbat. Do you trust that you can get a better job? Do you trust that can get all worked out? No, you want to trust that he's all of a sudden going to change your boss's mind. Well, he's not going to change your boss's mind most of the time. It's happened, but not most of the time. And even then, it wasn't necessarily Yahweh to change your boss's mind. Your boss should change his mind for whatever reason. Something changed. But most of the time, you need to get another job and trust him enough that obeying him is going to work in your favor ultimately. But do you trust him? So you rejected the covenant. Because I know people out there say, I didn't reject the covenant. I keep Saturday and I don't eat pork. But what else are you not doing? Okay, so you're doing some of it. Where is the line being drawn? He said, you shall do everything. If you agree to do everything that comes out of my mouth, not some, not part. I don't want you to think, well, I haven't rejected his laws and his covenant. Maybe, maybe not. Because if you break, that's what they say when he says, you know the verse says, if you've broken one, you've broken them all? It's not like literally, if I eat pork, I've broken the Sabbath. What he's saying is if you've broken one thing, you've broken the covenant. Because the covenant is to do all. So if you break one, it doesn't matter which one you broke. Same result. You're still in breach. You're no longer in covenant. You need to restore it. Now, here's the compassion and love. Remember I said, thank Yahweh for his mercy, love, and compassion? He gives us a way to fix the problem. I told you guys you should be incredibly fascinated and curious in the study of you. Not like in a narcissistic sort of loving yourself thing, okay? But in a like, I want to know why I do what I do and why I struggle with this and why I'm good at that. And I want to see, do I trust him? I mean, you should really be curious and paying attention to you. I mean, we're also good at paying attention to everybody else, like a bunch of nosy rosies out there paying attention to everybody else. But are you paying attention to you? You should be asking yourself this question. Do I really put my trust in him? Is that evident in my daily decisions? Because really it's in our decisions that it comes, right? Is it evident in your decisions? I would examine myself. I would be asking that question because he already knows. He's already examining you. But you should know because you might need to repent of something. You may be in breach and not even realize it because you're just happily going along, not paying attention.